Hello, and thank you for joining us for the CEM Top 10 on embedding individual children's goals into routines. So this overview is going to briefly touch on which skills to teach and when to teach. Additional information is available on the share site and in CEM training about how to teach the skills and how to monitor progress. So for this overview, we want to be sure that we're grounded in the evidence-based practices around embedding learning opportunities. So first, we know from instructional practice number 2 that we need to teach skills that are important to everyday activities. We want to be teaching things that are meaningful alongside children's peers and friends. We want to decide the routine that's best matched to the goal. So we'll be practicing something that makes sense in the routine that we're practicing it. And we want to use the materials that are typically in that routine and activity. So whatever we have in the classroom, whatever we have available, the family has at home, those are the things we want to use to teach and reinforce those skills. We're going to use collaboration to plan when and how to teach and practice children's individual goals and skills. And then we will arrange the adults and peers in a fashion that maximizes the impact. That might look like zoning, and it might look like peer-mediated interventions. So what we know about creating learning opportunities is we need to know what skills to teach, and we're going to talk about where we get that information. And then we're going to do when to teach. Classroom engagement model is a routines-based model. We've been working on creating routines to the third power, having our routines be actively participating, embedding interesting items, having lots of routine materials and props available. And so now that we have all those things in place, embedding individual goals will be much, much easier. So we'll think about which routines we're going to teach these individual goals in, and then when are we going to practice so that there's multiple practice opportunities. And then how we decide to teach it, what specific activity, what materials, what props, is it adult support or peer support? Those are conversations to have during our teaming conversations. And then how will we monitor this engagement and learning? Will we use the STARE for monitoring engagement? Are we going to be taking data a different way to see if the children are learning the skills that we want them to be learning? So one thing we can do is we can determine the goals to embed into routines for individual children or for small groups of children or large groups of children using our ongoing assessment data. So looking at one of the domains, either social, emotional, cognitive, literacy, etc., we can use our look, think, act process, which your external coach can help you with should you need some support, and look and see if there's indicators where a lot of children are bunched together, or maybe an indicator where one child is kind of standing alone. And then based on that data, we can decide, is this something that all the children are working on and we should embed into routines for all children to learn and practice? Is this something that would be best suited to a small group activity? Is this an individual child's goal? Keep in mind that even if the whole class is working on a particular skill, that doesn't mean whole group instruction is automatically the best choice. We may still want to have small group or individual instruction for one-to-one correspondence rather than just large group instruction as one example. And so then choosing the routine and activity to teach and practice the skill comes down to your expertise as a professional in the classroom. So when we think about our assessment data, we can look at it in a little bit of a hierarchy. If more than 50% of the class needs to work on that skill, then we know that's class-wide. And so we'll embed it into multiple routines. And again, large group, small group, and individual practice. Small group need would be 10 to 50% of the class is not demonstrating that skill yet. And again, that still might be something that we choose to work on in small group. We might revisit it in large group, and we might ask some of the children who've mastered the skill to be peer leaders and to help their friends. And then we do have those goals that are individual, and it's based on those children who are far below that age expectation. And so we'll want to be planful about how we're going to help them get extra practice opportunities. We can also involve families or other caregivers to help us with goals. If families have shared at conferences or at other regular communication intervals through an email, etc., maybe there's something going on at childcare that we want to help them navigate or create engagement around. That's something that we can embed as well. And then teaming around goals so that when we know what we're going to teach, we can start teaming around how we're going to teach it. Is it an adult providing instruction? Is it a peer? Is it large group, small group? Is it individual time? Are there adaptations that need to be made? How will we practice these skills in which routines? And so having those conversations is really how we get to high quality embedded instruction. An example of what a high quality mini plan might look like is for us to take an IEP goal. Cameron will initiate interaction with peers and think about different activities through several routines in the day where we can work on the same skill. One of the keys to embedding goals is that we have multiple practice opportunities for the same goal during different routines, and ensuring that some of those routines are predictable and the stakes are low, so children can be successful and build that confidence with the skill before they have to do that in a really high stakes setting. So during circle time, saying a peer's name and rolling the ball is pretty predictable. Child's going to be ready for it. There's adults there to support. And that's a nice, easy way to initiate interaction with a peer. Then we can praise and we can comment on, oh, you're so good at asking your friends to play. You're so good at getting their attention. And then we can extend it into sign in. Maybe we're going to get the peer's attention and hand them their marker for their turn for sign in. And then finally, we might try something like this at snack time. Another example could be for Susie is matching similar objects. Maybe it came out in our ongoing assessment data that Susie isn't at the same level as her peers with this skill. And so we're going to intentionally add some of these opportunities to routines. During circle time, we might have everyone do a think, pair, share by finding a peer with a matching dinosaur card. And so lots of skills can happen during that, and Susie will get practice with matching. During sign-in, maybe Susie isn't going to write her name right now. Maybe her sign-in is going to be matching 4 Velcro shapes on her sign-in card. And so if she's mastered writing her name, or she's not even ready to write her name yet, that this goal is much better suited to her needs, we can make that adjustment and adaptation for her. And then we might design a small group table that's around matching so that Susie and other kids who need practice, or maybe we have a couple of kiddos in that group who are really good at it and can help Susie learn if we'd like some peers to help deliver that instruction. So these are some really high points about embedding goals. There are resources on the share site around creating an activity matrix. The CEM Top 10 has some other PD nuggets and reflective questions that you may find useful. And we wish you all the best in embedding individual goals into routines for the children in your class. And thank you.